So we're outside the empty tomb, and an angel is talking to the women. Don't be afraid, he says. Jesus, who was crucified, is no longer here. He is risen. Come and see the place where he lay. The Gospels pretty much agree that that's the sort of thing that was said. Then the angel tells them to go and tell the disciples and to say that Jesus is going to Galilee and he'll meet them there. That's slightly problematic in that Acts chapter 1, there's a bit where Jesus is talking to them after he's risen, and he says, "Do not leave Jerusalem, but wait for the gift my Father has promised." So, what did they go to Galilee, or was it in Jerusalem? There's some funny bits there we'll look at later. But then comes one of the most surprising verses in the New Testament, and it's in Mark's Gospel. And this is what it says. "Trembling and bewildered, the women went out and fled from the tomb. They said nothing to anyone because they were afraid." Now, if they said nothing to anyone, then how does the writer of this gospel know what happened? Well, he can't, can he? And how did anybody find out that the tomb was empty? That's really surprising. So the guy who wrote Matthew's gospel looks at that and says, "God, that can't be right, let's change it." So he changes it. And he says, "So the women hurried away from the tomb, afraid, yet filled with joy, and they ran to tell the disciples." Well, that makes much more sense. And Luke says similar things. When they came back from the tomb, they told all these things to the 11 and the others. But I'm still a bit surprised by that verse in Mark, where they tell nobody. It's all very strange.
It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible